What if the best meal of your trip to Japan wasn't sushi, but a perfectly crispy pork cutlet you found by accident? Many travelers arrive in Japan dreaming about sushi or ramen, but sometimes the most unforgettable food experiences happen when you step away from the familiar and try something locals truly love. Today, we're exploring one of Japan's ultimate comfort foods, tonkatsu. Imagine walking through a quiet street in Japan, leaving behind the safe and predictable hotel restaurants. You step into a small local eatery and suddenly discover a perfectly balanced Japanese meal called a teishaku or set meal. At the center of that meal is tonkatsu, a thick, juicy pork cutlet fried to golden perfection. But tonkatsu isn't just fried pork, it's a carefully designed food experience with multiple elements working together. Tonkatsu starts with a high-quality cut of pork, usually pork loin or pork fillet. The meat is coated in flour, dipped in egg, and then covered with panko bread. These Japanese breadcrumbs are much lighter and airier than Western breadcrumbs, which creates an incredibly crisp texture when fried. When the tonkatsu is cooked, the outside becomes golden and crunchy, while the inside stays juicy and tender. It's simple but executed with incredible precision. A typical tonkatsu set meal includes several components. Tonkatsu, the crispy pork cutlet, sliced for easy eating. Shredded cabbage, a fresh and crunchy side. Tonkatsu sauce, a thick, savory sauce similar to a sweet Worcestershire sauce. Rice, the staple of every Japanese meal. Miso soup, warm and comforting. Green tea, a slightly bitter tea that refreshes the palate. Sometimes, you might also see kaki fry, or fried oysters, served alongside tonkatsu. For many travelers, this can be a surprising experience. In Western cuisine, oysters are often served raw and cold. In Japan, they can also be deep-fried, creating a hot, juicy seafood bite wrapped in a crispy shell. What makes this meal special is the balance. Japanese meals are often designed so that every dish plays a role. The rich, oily tonkatsu is balanced by the fresh, shredded cabbage. The cabbage isn't just decoration, it actually helps refresh your palate and makes the heavy fried food easier to enjoy. Some restaurants even offer citrus dressings like yuzu, adding brightness and acidity that cuts through the richness. This harmony of flavors is a big part of Japanese food culture. Locals usually eat tonkatsu in a very specific way. First, they grind sesame seeds in a small bowl. Then they mix them with tonkatsu sauce. The pork cutlet is dipped into this sauce before each bite. You can also try different combinations. Tonkatsu with sauce, tonkatsu with just salt, cabbage with citrus dressing, rice with a piece of pork on top. Every bite can taste slightly different. You can find tonkatsu restaurants all across Japan. Some famous chains specialize entirely in this dish, while many small local restaurants serve their own version. Cities like Tokyo, Kyoto, and Osaka all have amazing tonkatsu spots, but honestly, some of the best ones are tiny neighborhood restaurants you stumble upon by accident. That spontaneous discovery is part of the magic. Here's a helpful travel tip. Look for tonkatsu restaurants where the cabbage and rice are free refills. This is surprisingly common in Japan and allows you to enjoy the full balance of the meal without feeling too heavy. And if you're feeling adventurous, try the fried oysters, too. You might discover a completely new way to enjoy seafood. Sometimes the most memorable food experiences in Japan aren't the famous dishes you plan to eat, but the ones you discover by chance. A simple tonkatsu meal can turn into a perfect introduction to Japanese comfort food. So when you visit Japan, step away from the hotel menu and try what the locals love. Would you try tonkatsu or even fried oysters in Japan? Let me know in the comments.